Welcome to KX News on the Go. I'm Chance Stickland.
And I'm Amber French.
A North Dakota man is now facing federal charges after investigators say he was traveling overseas to sexually abuse children.
On Monday, Sean Snyder pleaded not guilty to 7 felonies involving sex crimes against minors. According to the grand jury indictment, federal prosecutors say Snyder traveled multiple times from North Dakota to Thailand starting in 2018. Investigators say Snyder's trips were patterns of seeking out and engaging in sexual acts with 2 young children, ages 12 and 8.
In addition to the travel and abuse charges, he is also accused of possessing a cell phone that contained child sexual abuse images and videos. So in total, Snyder is charged with 3 counts of travel with intent to engage in illicit sexual contact, 3 counts of engaging in illicit sexual conduct in foreign places, and 1 count of possession of materials containing child pornography.
Snyder remains in custody at Burley Morton Detention Center. He is set to be back in court on December 2nd. So far, his trial is scheduled for January. If convicted, he faces decades in federal prison.
In other news, the new state school superintendent Levi Bachmeyer began his first day in office on Monday.
He says his first goal is to visit North Dakota's 165 school districts, beginning with its smallest, Marmarth, in the southwest corner of the state. Bachmeyer says it's important for him to be hands-on by personally visiting and engaging every classroom.
So I actually hope to spend a little bit of time watching some of our best teachers in action. Someone asked, well, why don't you just have all of them come to a conference or host a meeting at the Capitol? You can't watch great instruction in the Capitol Tower. So that's really the thing that I'm most excited about. Our effort to lead the country is it's not gonna happen in Bismarck. It's gonna happen in our classrooms and how our teachers are encouraging and supporting and motivating and challenging our young people.
His visit to Marmarth is scheduled for December 8th.
North Dakota now has a total of 12 school districts with fewer than 50 students.
Tribal leaders from North Dakota got to take a trip to the West Coast, where they received a prize for a new film.
Representatives from the Turtle Mountain Band of Chippewa recently attended the LA Skins Fest, which is a Native American film festival. Their documentary White Bison won in the featured documentary program.
The 14-minute film follows the Turtle Mountain tribe as they gift 5 white buffalo calves to other tribes in North Dakota.
This is just another added feature to our tourism bringing into North Dakota, because nowhere else do you see the white buffaloes, you know, like we have. We have a bull that every year we have 3 or 4 white buffalo calves, so we're going to give more out to other nations because it's hope, prosperity, and peace.
The film was directed and written by Justin Deacon.
Thomas says the tribe is now working to post documentary where people can see it. Good morning, Vanessa.
Hey, good morning, guys. Still dealing with some travel impacts in terms of the snow this morning, even out towards western North Dakota, where we've already seen the back edge of the snow clear on through. Travel still really not advised out towards our far northwestern counties this morning. Still seeing some of those heavier bands of snow now to the south of I-94, kind of to the south of Bisman, out towards Flasher, up towards Hazleton there, to the east of Highway 83, also dealing with some of those heavier bands of snow as well, up towards Steele, even closer to Medina, Wing, Robinson, up towards Harvey there, seeing some lighter bands along Highway 52. I'll step away from this for a second here just to show you the expansive area of conditions across the region. 20s and 30s, very likely. We have already set our high temperatures for the daytime here, as temperatures are expected to plummet following the passage of this Clipper system. Visibility, of course, remaining down at this point in time as well. A lot of locations marking 1 mile, if not lower than that this morning. 1 mile of visibility out towards Bismarck, 1 mile out towards Dickinson, 2 miles out towards Watford City. To put things into perspective, to have full visibility, you should have 10 miles there. So please just make sure you're extra cautious. We understand this is a heavy travel week in terms of the Thanksgiving holiday. And if you do have to head out going through this morning and into the afternoon, we are looking at the snow continuing on through the mid-morning hours. Once we get towards lunchtime, we transition our travel concerns and impacts to the potential for blowing snow. So here's the back edge of this Clipper system swinging on by as we get closer to 2 o'clock this afternoon. The clouds staying in place there for the time being, but notice that clearing line developing out towards the west and even up towards northeastern Montana. It's going to come back and forth in terms of that clearing line even as we get into tomorrow. Here's where we stand with the wind gust forecast. Obviously, that's where we transition our concern towards once we get past the snow. The potential for 30, 35, even up to 40-mile-per-hour gusts, as you're seeing there highlighted within the orange. This is going to create that concern for blowing snow, because when we have temperatures into the 20s as snow is actively falling, it means that the snow has that light and powdery consistency to it. So as hard as those road crews are working, and we thank them and applaud them for that, it's difficult to keep up when we have the concern for blowing snow here. Once we get closer to, say, 7, 8 o'clock this evening, reduced to a bit of a lighter breeze here overall. That'll likely continue into at least early tomorrow morning. Plummeting temperatures, again, the greater story following the passage of this Clipper system. As we get into tomorrow, a lot of locations only marking the 20s in terms of highs. Some of us may, in fact, be lucky enough to get into those lower 30s if we point our attention and focus closer to Hettinger and Bowman there, 30, 31 degrees out towards Mobridge there, 32 degrees going to be that forecasted high. So here's a look at Williston, your next 5. Plummeting temperatures from here on out, 20s down into the teens for those highs into the early weekend. Dickinson, your next 5, very similar temperature pattern here reflected on the map, down into the 20s, the teens for the start of the weekend. Here's Minot's next several days, and generally speaking, the pattern is the same no matter where you are located, getting down into those 30s, 20s. Then we get into the teens for the weekend, still remaining a little bit more unsettled. Models going back and forth on the potential for some additional snow showers Friday into Saturday. And finally, looking at Bismarck's next several days, from the 30s down into the 20s, down into the teens for those highs going into the weekend. Things remaining a little bit more unsettled. If we point our attention towards the overnight lows between Sunday night and Monday, getting down into the single digits below, guys.
Vanessa, thank you. Please be careful out there. In the meantime, for everyone here at KX News, for Amber, for Vanessa, who you just heard from, I'm Chance. Have a great day. Again, be safe.